seen anything like that.
Wide right.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. He's going to the end zone. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God. You believe in miracles? Yes.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program, where we talk the sports and other stuff, like football. Listen, if I played center, I'd make absolutely sure that the quarterback hands were not all up in my butt. Hey, Tom Brady, I know they call me the heart attack kid because of my supple pear-shaped ass, but that doesn't mean I want your mitts on it. We're doing shotgun for the rest of the game. I'm Roy Harder, and here's your host, Mr. Eastside, David McDonald, baby. Cheers, David.
Thank you so much. And applause on top of that. Unbelievable. And what an introduction, Roy. Oh, my Lord. So if you were a football center, you'd be running shotgun the whole time. A run and shoot type of offense, but mainly because of homophobia, because of a homophobic reason.
I guess you could call it that, David. Yeah.
Right. I mean, you just don't like your butt touched. You're a non-butt guy, maybe male or female. I've heard that before. Roy Harder, no butts allowed. At your old Skinny Man Studios, you used to have a picture of a butt with the red circle and the line going through it. I like Ghostbusters.
That's correct, David. That's
I remember that.
Yeah, actually, it's funny you remember that sign. It wasn't a butt. It actually said Harder. And there was a big X through it. That was my old tech, John Held. He used to hate working for me. So anytime I went to him, he hated me. Anytime I went in there,
and now that guy's on the bread line. So you know what? Fuck him. Now listen. It's a very busy show. We did have a dropout, and that doesn't bother the Davey Mac Sports Program. Our nice friend Pitsy. Anthony Pizzatola, I was a producer with on the Ron and Fez show. He had a sudden emergency. He's not a guy who drops out. No. We wish him nothing but the best. And he, absolutely, I'm sure, will be on the show, if not next Monday, to go down some Ron and Fez memory lane. We had some great clips of him. But then the Monday afterwards, either next Monday or the Monday afterwards, I'm sure Pitsy will be doing the show. So we hope he's okay. I did last second call Jared, who I co-host a show with these days, Jared Fishman, the original producer of Sam and Dave, producer of Eastside Dave Show for 6 weeks, and until he walked out, and producer of a lot of things in my life, marijuana sales, and in addition to that, he is now my co-host of the show Yaddle Chattel, a Star Wars podcast, which actually is the fastest growing Star Wars podcast online. We just got our write-up from Stitcher. Bam.
Nice. Congratulations, guys.
Once again, the Davey Mac magic continues to be successful. Yep, the Yaddle Chattel rising up through the charts. If you like Star Wars, you have to be listening. If you don't like Star Wars, you should probably be listening, because we grill a lot of people, like the Rian Johnsons and J.J. Abrams and whatnot. But that's neither here nor there. We've got a busy episode today, a busy week. We got an exciting week. I am pumped the fuck up. I am
too.
I am juiced up because on Thursday, we got FezCon, which we're going to be rocking. The entire Davey Mac Sports Program, past and present, the Roy Harders, the Sean Barrys, the Chris Pepper Stanleys, the Robert Tamburos, and yes, the Davey Macs, the East Side Daves, Daddy. We are going to be at the FezCon this Thursday, the 19th. I'm excited. I'm thrilled. I'm shot out of a cannon. Who's going to give me a ride, dog? I'm coming from New Jersey. I don't like spending money on transportation.
Won't be me, David. I'm coming from Long Island.
Oh,
sorry, buddy.
Robert Tamburo? I know you're doing a lot back there, but I'd like you to.
No, I thought you told me. I thought I was going to be the guest. My bad. I was waiting for you to introduce me.
You can't be a guest when you are on the show every week. You should have pride in that though, Robert.
Oh, I do have pride in it. I was just
by
joking.
the way,
our
special guest tonight is our producer who has to be here, Robert Tamburo. Ladies and gentlemen.
All joking aside, I was panicking. Like, was I supposed to invite Jared?
No, I wasn't going to give you an introduction. I was assuming you were doing shit, so that's why you weren't even on camera. I was trying to stall.
No, you're the best.
Be a good
My
boy,
bad.
looking out for his producer and trying to stall.
We might be able to work something out, Dave. Well, I'll talk to you after the show, but
just if you can't do it, this is a 411 alert. Anyone coming from Jersey, please consider driving me. I will go with you in the car. And
what time is the event?
The event, I don't know the details. I have it in my email. It was an email thing where you're on a guest list. But regardless, I'll be ready to go all fucking day, dog. All day. I'm going to be doing. The only temptation will be to not begin drinking immediately after my morning radio show, which is number one at the Jersey Shore, the morning rat race with Carl and Dave. Sometimes like the show ends, Roy, at 10. I get 10 a.m. We're on 6 to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday. At 10:15 sometimes, if the mood strikes me, I start hitting the IPAs. I start hitting the dogfishes and whatnot.
Oh, boy, David. Not a good sign.
Sometimes sometimes I do it as soon as I get home, like 10:01. I don't even shower. I decide I'm going to skip the showering process.
Oh, oh boy.
You ever do what I do sometimes, Dave, which is just take a shower beer? Like take a beer in there with you, and then you get the.
If I started drinking, I definitely do that. I have to, because I do the 45-minute shower routine. So I actually have to take like 3 IPAs into the bathroom and put them in the sink. But it's nice because the sink, you could put a bunch of ice in your kitchen sink, in your bathroom sink. So you got like a nice little cooler.
I like that. I've never even thought about that. Have you thought about you could take a dogfish 90-minute and then it would be like you could drink it in the same amount of time it took to distill it?
Those 90-minute ones are death. Those are tough. I drink about 4 of those and stuff. With a little bit of pot, you're pretty much blacked out for the rest of the day.
Yeah,
then you make fucking phone calls and text to Roy Harder,
Yeah.
Hey, Roy, I don't care if you're coming from Long Island. Give me a fucking ride to FezCon. Otherwise, the show's over. You start threatening things like we're fucking Fleetwood Mac over here, and I'm Lindsey Buckingham.
That's basically a truth, Sam. That's when Rob starts sending his ex text like, and you changed the cat's name from Zarathustra, you racist. Now who's the bigot, you bitch?
Yeah.
Do a little research.
For me, usually my texts in that state are, believe it or not, quite happy. They're just so over the top happy.
Yeah.
I'll be texting like Pitsy, like, hey, it's I'm sorry that you couldn't be on the show today. I hope you're on the show next Monday. By the way, I've always loved you. Always. Now text me back that you love me too. Otherwise, I'm gonna fucking kill you. That kind of thing.
I've gotten those texts too, David.
Yes, I have. But this is also a big week for me personally because the New York Football Giants, Daddy.
Yeah, I heard about this.
They went into Minnesota. I predicted it on this show. I predicted it on WRAT-FM. I predicted it anywhere where there was a fucking microphone. I made the prediction that the Giants were definitely going to beat the Minnesota Vikings this Sunday because Kirk Cousins is a phony. The Vikings are pretenders. They're fakers. And what happened? Giants 31, Vikings 24, and the New York Football Giants are into the playoffs, man. Are advancing in the playoffs, baby.
Yeah. Well done, David.
Giants will now take on the Eagles this Sunday. And ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Jones is one of the top 5 quarterbacks of the NFL. And as the kids say, don't at me. Don't you fucking at me, kids. He's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. He can throw. He can run. He makes good decisions. He does it on 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12. The guy picks up first down after first down after first down. He's come through in the clutch. The one thing we had to get rid of was the fumbling. The last couple of years, believe it or not, as his career has started out, he's literally averaged a fumble a game.
Butterfingers.
That's 16 fumbles a year. Now 17 fumbles a season. Can't have that. That's insane. But he got rid of that. He got rid of that this year. He stopped doing it. I think he's only fumbled once the entire season. Combined with only a few interceptions. The guy has played his absolute ass off. He's got no receiving crew. He does have Saquon Barkley. Robert's boy, Saquon Barkley, who went with Robert to Penn State. They went together.
We
Saquon.
We took Spanish together.
Now, if I do my math correctly, aren't you like at least 5 years older, though, than Saquon?
Some of us took longer than traditional students to graduate, Dave.
That's what I was thinking. Because for the last few weeks, every time I see Saquon Barkley, I think of Penn State. And then I think of Robert's college, fucking fellow student.
Yeah, that was like round 3, I think. That was the final push.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I think you're considerably older than Saquon.
I mean, I wouldn't say considerably. I like to think if, I have one good game left in me, if need be, I could put out like him. But, yeah, I'm a little bit older than him, Dave.
Now, put out like him, you don't mean you're going to get fucked by someone. You're not trying to allow someone to fuck you. Because when some people say he's going to put out, that's, one way of – I mean, when Roy hears the term – that she puts out, all of a sudden Roy's radar goes up. He's like, what?
That's my generation. Yeah, absolutely.
Dave, some people say they'll do whatever it takes to win. Other people mean it when they say they'll do whatever it takes to win.
Oh, you're goddamn right about that. Don't you even tell me. I'm fucking hardcore Davey Mac. Don't forget. You fuck with me, you fuck with my ass. Now listen.
I was just thinking, Dave, you were describing your quarterback. He sounds really good. He's mobile,
Daniel
makes good
Jones.
decisions.
DJ.
He can pass the ball as well, kind of turn the team around when he took over. Reminds me of another quarterback, actually, which is Jalen Hurts. Could this be the next kind of Manning-Brady rivalry developing, but like the modern era?
The NFC East is going to be fascinating now that Daniel Jones may have joined Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts. And I will say that right now, I'm taking Daniel Jones after Dak Prescott. Now, as we record this, as we are doing this live, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys take on Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. So maybe Prescott will make me either eat my words or maybe I'll start to think that Daniel Jones is, without question, far superior to Dak Prescott. But you know what? Daniel Jones has already done what Dak Prescott has not done, which is have a definitive game in the postseason. And by the way, I just thought about this.
Uh-oh, the guitar's out.
Goddamn right the guitar's out. Because I just thought about this. Okay, Roy?
I'm going to buy you a tuner for Christmas.
This guitar is tuned, no?
Yeah, I guess.
Because it's Giants time.
Maybe if you're a dog.
You understand? It's Giants time in the Super Bowl. The Eli Manning, the air trail roll. We're gonna win. Yeah. Dominate, baby. Gonna fuck the shit out of Tom Brady. Come on. Torrance Tides. Kicking in your face. Tom Coughlin. Give it some bass. Tickle me Elmo. No, tackle me Osi. The Belichick Brady. The pussy and pussy.
Nice. I like the Sonic Youth version.
Give it some bass. Bob Dylan said, well, let's play the video. We're going to play it properly.
Tickle me Elmo, no, tackle me Osi. Belichick Brady,
here it is.
pussy and pussy.
Yeah.
Giants Cape Fear, Eli's Max Katie, gonna ruin your boat. Badly, Tom Brady. Break it down, Roy Schaefer. Come on. It's a Davey Mac Sports Program. Subscribe on iTunes, Daddy, and listen on SiriusXM. Wyclef Jean is from fucking Haiti. Gonna Fuji your shit. Tom Brady, pirate says, ahoy, matey. Gonna walk the plank and fuck you, Tom Brady. With the Giants, Dabney Coleman is 80. Fucking dagger your ass, Tom Brady. Woo! Yeah! Davey Mac Sports Program. what time it is.
I mean, come on.
How old is
Holy
Dabney Coleman
cow.
now?
Dabney Coleman is now 91. That was 11 years ago.
Wow.
He's still alive, though.
That's when I still had hair.
Did
He's
you
still
ever
alive.
see? By the way, did you ever see Cloak and Dagger? That was a great movie.
One of my
for
favorite
kids.
movies as a kid. One of my favorites.
That was a fucking fantastic kids movie. I remember seeing that movie. That movie's always on HBO in the mid 80s when I was a kid. And it would literally get viewership out of me 100% of the time. If fucking Cloak and Dagger, 2 movies, Cloak and Dagger and this weird ass comedy called Midnight Madness that had these like 5 different teams go on a scavenger hunt of Los Angeles and like tons of people that you would actually recognize from the 80s, you know, like one of the nerds from, you know, Revenge of the Nerds and all these types. It was and Michael J. Fox and shit like this. But those 2 movies, Cloak and Dagger and Midnight Madness, I always fucking loved.
My mom wouldn't spring for HBO, Dave. We had to watch the knockoff Robe and Spatula.
Ew. You were probably one of those kids that had Hydrox cookies and Seal Test ice cream rather than proper fucking Oreos and Breyers, you piece of shit.
Yeah, exactly. You nailed it. We love a bargain in our household.
I remember what
my cousin's parents, they had the Playboy channel, but they had an actual physical lock on the cable box that you would have to put a key in, turn it, and then you could access the channel. It was on from like 8 p.m. to like, I don't know, 2 a.m.
That's
but
funny.
We used to take a paper clip and just put it in there and like shoop, would like jimmy it in a second.
That's amazing. There was a fucking physical lock on the television.
Totally, yeah. I mean, they should have it nowadays. It's on the internet, but you know, what are you going to do?
I agree with that. That's incredible. So Tom, so the Giants, they're going to Philadelphia. They're taking on the Eagles. And I'm telling you right now, folks, watch out. You heard it here first. This team could be a team of destiny. I will tell you the one way the New York Football Giants actually go on to the Super Bowl. The one way. They need their wide receivers. They need their wide receivers to play perfect football. They can't drop the fucking passes anymore. Okay, we had a pass yesterday against the goddamn Vikings. Giants were up by a touchdown, 31-24. There was a few minutes left in the game. It was about 3rd and 8 or something. And Daniel Jones throws the most perfect pass to Darius Slayton. Darius Slayton is probably the Giants' fastest receiver. He's also the receiver who can jump the highest. And this guy can't catch for shit. You know what? Get the fucking small white guy, the Steve Largents and the fucking Wayne Krebettes in that situation if you have to, G-Man. Because the one thing you can't have is this guy who's a quote-unquote 5-star athlete with the fucking sprinting and the running, but he's got the worst pair of hands I've ever seen my entire life. Daniel Jones basically threw a pass so fucking perfect, it was like a 10-yard handoff. I mean, the ball could not have been thrown any better. The guy literally barely had to move his hands, didn't have to move, break stride, and if he catches the pass, the game's pretty much over because the Vikings only had the one timeout at that point. The Giants could have stalled, wasted the clock, and Darius Slayton puts the ball on the ground. If he does that against the goddamn Eagles, the Giants won't win. If Richie James, who looks like a stunt double for Flavor Flav, put a fucking clock around Richie James's neck, and it's like I'm watching, it's like I feel like he should be dating Bridget Nielsen over there. Okay, if Richie James or Darius Slayton drop one fucking pass against the Eagles, Giants ain't winning.
It seems like a simple fix. They should just get them bigger gloves.
It's not gloves. It's the fact that the new generation of wide receivers are so focused on the one-handed catches, which get them on SportsCenter. And as a result, that enough SportsCenter appearances will get you a $100 million contract. So they're all concentrating on the fucking one-handed circus freak catch. And yet these normal fucking basic routine throws from quarterbacks, which were never dropped by the likes of Jerry Rice, Chris Carter, so on and so forth. These balls were never, ever dropped 25 to 30 years ago. Routine passes are getting dropped left and right. Look, I'm in a good mood. I'm just saying, if the Giants realistically want to win, the one major glaring weakness, Achilles heel, if you will, is the fucking wide receivers putting the ball on the ground. They can't have that. If the receivers play a great game, don't put the ball on the ground, the Giants will beat the Eagles, and the Giants will go to the Super Bowl. That's a Davey Mac guarantee.
Wow.
All right. Yeah, David, I tell you, I might not know a lot about sports, but the one thing I know is, and I dare anyone to debate me on this, that it's easier to catch a ball with two hands than it is with one.
Goddamn right it is, Hottens. Goddamn right. Give yourself 3 points for that brilliant sports take. Thank 3 points right there. Easier to catch with two than it is to one. You know what? Give yourself another 5 points because you took it with humility. I give points away to people, and then they start bragging and spiking the football in other people's faces. I don't care for that.
Dave, I have does any of it fall on the coaching? Because
not with this head coach, motherfucker. Not with this head coach. This Brian Daboll has taken 6 years of Giants shit and turned the team around. No, the bottom line is the Giants were not supposed to have this kind of success. That's why they have a shitty receiving crew. Next year and the year after that, I'm sure Joe Schoen is going to go out and look for big-time receivers or receivers that he can draft. This year was a lot of success that wasn't even supposed to happen. No, Brian Daboll and any of the coaches, for that matter, Kafka, the offensive coordinator, the receivers coach, no one has anything to blame. It's the fucking NFL. When you throw it, when Daniel Jones throws a pass to you that's 12 yards away and he's not rocketing the ball in, he threw with enough little pace. There was some touch, and you just put the ball on the ground, and that's a game ender. Come on, man. That's on the receiver.
Okay, just the reason, I coached when I was the JV offensive coordinator, I had to teach the quarterback new reads. Okay, yes, we look for the open man, but also remember 3 out of your 4 receivers can't catch. So if it's not Billy, we just don't throw him the football. You understand what I'm saying, Hunter? You tuck it and run.
I know, but then the sad thing is they won't have anyone to throw to because all of them drop the ball. Hodgins is pretty good. They just I don't know how. This guy got cut from the Buffalo Bill practice team or something. Number 18, Hodgins, and he signed up for the Giants, and he's our number one. That guy's played really, really well, but in years past, even on the Giants, that guy would be no higher than a number 3. 10 years ago when they won their second Super Bowl under Coughlin, you had Victor Cruz, Hakeem Nicks, and Mario Manningham, all of which would be over Hodgins. And then in the year before that, you had Steve Smith, Amani Toomer, and, of course, Plaxico Burress. But, the guy would be on a receiving crew. I'm not sure if Richie James, would be on an actual receiving crew. And as for Darius Slayton, dude, I'm now officially sick of the fact that I could give 2 shits that you can run faster than anyone else in the league and that you can jump higher than anyone else in the league. I don't fucking care. You drop the football and you drop basic passes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who could do neither of those things? Wes Welker. And he was one of the best receivers of all time just because he caught the football.
Point.
You would think, especially with how easy they've made it now to be a receiver, you're not allowed to hit a guy. You're not allowed to take somebody's head off coming on a slant route. All these things, just catch the football.
Get somebody who's going to fucking catch the ball, who's got goddamn glue to their fucking fingers.
That's right, David.
Speed, height, I don't give a shit about that anymore. You know what?
That's why I hate Yngwie Malmsteen, the guitar player. He's all about speed. He can't write a song to save his goddamn life.
Let me tell you something about speed, Roy Harder. Keith Richards said, speed is out the ass. He said people should treat every fucking note like it costs you $10,000 when you play it.
That's right.
When you play a guitar, you fucking treat every goddamn note like it's $10,000. Don't be fucking speed. Come up with something. Come up with notes that have beauty and soul. It's the same thing with Richie James. I don't want to fucking hear that he can jump 9 feet. Catch the ball. Treat every fucking pass like that is $10,000. I don't care if it's a screen pass. I don't care if it's a ball 50. And by the way, this is a guy who has dropped bombs, 50-yard bombs that were perfect strikes. And the Giants did end up losing those games.
Yeah.
So it's not like he hasn't cost the team. He's had drops where the team has lost because of it. They just didn't lose it before. The Giants have won. That's it. I'm treating this as if the Giants lost yesterday. No, I'm not. I'm extremely excited. I'm so happy. The Giants won. FezCon is on Thursday. The thing about it is I just actually see that this Giants team is not too different than the two Eli Manning teams that won Super Bowls. That's how I see it. And so the one thing that I look at is what are the differences? Well, the Eli teams would not drop 6 to 8 passes a fucking game, especially in clutch situations. Yeah, David Tyree literally fucking pinning the football against his helmet. Who on the Giants is going to do that? That's my concern. They need a couple guys to start doing it. Hodgins is in the right direction. So is Bellinger, the tight end.
And honestly, Saquon's shown enough times in his career that he's an X factor. You know what I mean? There were a number of games that literally Penn State should have lost, but he just made some ridiculous play. Could I give you my key real quick for the Giants beating the Eagles? That's any time in the fourth quarter. It is 4th down, and you decide to punt. The ball does not stay in bounds. Punt the ball out of bounds. We're going to start from the whole beginning of the quarter just to get a rhythm. You know, that way we don't have a fluke in the last minute.
No, you're absolutely right. Got to punt that ball out of bounds. I mean, after Deshaun Jackson returned a punt to beat the Giants, I have actual punt nightmares. Like for the rest of my life, I dream of punt scenarios.
Oh God.
But still, Giants, I'm extremely excited. We have our head coach for 10 years. And we have our quarterback for 10 years. And the way Brian Dable has brilliantly used Saquon all season long. He's only had a few games where he's had to hand Saquon the ball 25 to 30 times. Your conventional running back. He has played Saquon in those conventional running back roles, and Saquon has done brilliantly. When Dable has given the ball to Saquon 30 times a game, he's gotten 150 yards in those games, 5-yard averages. But the point is, if you do that these days with the running back every game in and game out, they never last. They last 3 years. They have 3 good years in them, and then they're shot. Dable has decided when it's the right time, we're going to give Saquon the ball 25 to 30 times. But when it's not the right time, he's going to get the ball 12 times, 15 times. But he's also, going to get the ball via the pass. This is brilliant. This Brian Dable is the next great Giants coach. Daniel Jones is the next Giants QB. And we have something here. We're rolling. New York Football Giants, Daddy. We're back. And we might make the Super Bowl. We might do it. What do you think? Odds right now of the Giants beating the Eagles, or at least do you, Roy Harder, do you like the Giants' chances against the Eagles this week? It's Saturday night in Philadelphia.
It's in Philly. Okay, so I'm going to say yes, they will. They're on a high. And they're going to bring it home, David. I really do. I have a lot of faith in any New York team.
Okay. I don't know if I should be frightened by that because Roy Harder is a very good jinx type of person.
Yeah.
Robert, what do you think?
I don't think this is their year, Dave. I think
son of a fucking bitch.
Hang on one second.
Shit.
Hang on one second. I think they lose a heartbreaking game. But it becomes their rallying cry going into next season. Like that's what they do. I think it's very tough to beat a team 3 times in a season.
The Eagles have beaten the Giants twice. So that would mean that the Giants.
Well, I take back everything I said. Let's go Giants. They've got it in the bag.
Yeah. The Eagles have beaten the Giants twice. You're absolutely right. Well, but you were you under the impression the Giants beat the Eagles twice?
Yeah, I just thought they were a good football team. My bad.
Oh my gosh. No. The Eagles have beaten the Giants twice this year. And may I remind you, the second time was the final game of the regular season in which the Giants sat everyone, including Saquon and Daniel Jones. They started their 3rd string quarterback, and the Giants nearly beat them 22-16. The Eagles barely got past the G-men playing their 3rd string QB.
That's pretty impressive. Roy, did you know that a month before the 1980 Olympics, the Americans got beat by the Soviets 12-3?
I did know that actually. Yeah, I remember that. I was alive back then.
Were you watching the game? You were like 25 back then.
Yeah. I was about 26, 27 years old. Yeah, I remember the game very well.
You remember that?
Sad day.
Yeah, that was with Roy's first family, Robert.
Okay,
He doesn't like talking about them. You know, that's his foreign family. That he just keeps them in Europe, and no one knows anything about that.
I got families all over the place.
Didn't mean to bring it up, Roy. My apologies.
No sweat. We don't air this in Europe anyway.
Real quick, I'm going to run through some of the football playoffs. I keep deleting this show prep, which is starting to drive me fucking crazy. I hate the way emails, if you accidentally erase one goddamn fucking email,
the whole
then it erases the whole email chain. Who
Yeah.
thought that was a good idea? What the fuck is with emails? Now I'm never.
Are you
an
an AOL or
show
Gmail,
prep.
Dave? Are you an AOL or Gmail?
Just run through the other games.
Are
this
you
week.
in AOL? I could just forward you the email real quick.
Oh, either one is fine.
Boom. Well, let's talk about the game that's going on tonight. You mentioned it, but you never really made your predictions about what's going on. We've got Tom, I Kiss My Son on the Lips, Brady versus Dak Prescott and the Cowboys.
Well, listen, I'm telling you straight up right now, I'm rooting for Brady. That's going to be controversial since you just heard me do a song named Fuck Tom Brady. But ladies and gentlemen, if the Giants beat the Eagles and then Brady wins next weekend, you're going to have Giants Tom Brady in the NFC Championship, at which point, Roy Houghtons, we have to do another song. People have been asking us to do another song all this time. And I go, I'm not doing another song until the Giants get into a Super Bowl. I'm a Giants fan. And people are like, but Tom Brady's in the Super Bowl. And I was like, yeah, but he's playing like the fucking Rams or the Seahawks or, whatever. I'm not a fucking Rams or Seahawks fucking fan, for Christ's sakes.
We'll do another song.
But if the Giants play Tom Brady in the NFC Championship, holy shit, we have to do another song.
Okay. Consider it done, David.
So that's why I'm rooting for Brady. And I don't think that Dak Prescott and the Cowboys have such a leg up. Those guys are choke artists. They remind me a lot of the Vikings. We're good every year, man. Every year we're good in the regular season. And every year we shit the bed in the postseason. That's what they do. They're bed shitters.
The worst kind of shitters.
So that's my prediction, Robert. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, 28. Cowboys, 24. Roy Harder, predictions for tonight's game.
Well, who's playing again, David?
Cowboys and the Bucks.
Cowboys and the Buccaneers. Okay. Oh, man. I like Cowboys better than Buccaneers. Cowboys are always better than Pirates. In any movie you've ever seen, Cowboys just kick ass. So I'm going with the Cowboys on this one. And the score is going to be 24-17, David.
All right. That's good. At least it's a football score. A lot of multiples of 7 in that one. You don't like Pirates of the Caribbean? You're down on Pirates?
No, I like Cowboys better. What's that cowboy movie I like?
Fair enough. What's that cowboy movie?
Brokeback Mountain.
Brokeback Mountain. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Shane. I don't know. Anything that's a wide gamut of movies, Roy. What's that cowboy movie I like?
I do have a favorite cowboy movie, though. I'll tell you, it's The Pale Rider with Clint Eastwood. That was an amazing cowboy movie.
All right. Robert, predictions for the game.
Well, Dave, the thing that sticks out for me about Tom Brady is consistency. Like right here, you look at it's pretty early on in his career. You can tell because his son's pretty young, and he's kissing him on the lips.
Okay.
And then you move a little bit forward.
Off? Yeah, I know, but you know that this show's on YouTube, and I don't want people feeling uncomfortable of watching this show on the. We got your gag. No, okay,
all right, yeah. I think what's going to happen here is the Bucks are going to be way ahead at halftime, kind of like your 20. You said 27-24.
27-24 is my 28-24. My
28.
prediction.
Okay, so I think they're going to be up 28-0 at this point, and right before halftime, 2-minute drive, Dak's going to get hurt. They're going to have to bring in that quarterback who started them out for the season, and he's going to bring them back to knock off the Bucks in a thrilling second half.
Wow. Okay, so you're going with Dak Prescott.
It's like he could see the future.
I'm saying Dak's going to get hurt, and the backup who won him the first couple of games, is going to come in and carry him.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that guy's name? Rush, right? Something Rush?
Yeah, Cooper.
Cooper Rush. All right. That's an interesting prediction. The other games that happened. Don't know if you guys saw the fucking. I mean, this was insane. The goddamn San Diego Chargers were up on the Jacksonville Jaguars, 27-0.
Ooh, shutout.
To 0. No, they were up, and they fucking lost the game. The Jacksonville Jaguars came from behind and beat the goddamn Chargers 31-30. This Joey Bosa guy who looked like some sort of Hulk Hogan ripoff, you know, with this fucking blonde-haired idiot, and obviously his hair is dyed because his brother Nick Bosa on the 49ers, you know, they both have black hair, obviously. This moron's going for some sort of Thor look. This fucking idiot cost his team so many times. First, he gets a fucking, you know, unsportsmanlike penalty where he's, you know, talking to the ref. Then there's another penalty where he slams his goddamn fucking helmet on the field after the touchdown. That allowed the Jacksonville Jaguars to go for 2 because the distance was much, much shorter. They go for 2. They get it. That's the 1 point. There was a 1 point differential. Joey Bosa, I don't know where you are this morning. You and no one else. You cost your team the game. You suck. You're a fucking piece of shit. If I was Joey Bosa's teammate, I swear to God, I'd pick up a metal chair. Since he wants to be a wrestler so bad, I'd pick up a metal chair and I'd smash him in the fucking head with it. Here you go, Mr. Wrestler with the blonde hair. Some guy's going for some sort of fucking 1989 Saturday Night Main Event look. Smash that motherfucker in the head because no one else is to blame. The Chargers didn't even turn the ball over. Justin Herbert didn't throw any interceptions. They fucking didn't. They played perfectly fine.
Man,
the
talk
defense
about
allows these guys to come back in because this fucking moron can't keep his shit together, can't slam his helmet and not say some shit to the referee and not do this and not do that. Hey, Joey Bosa, you lost your team a playoff game. How does that feel, brother?
Just buy him a Bowflex machine, Dave.
God.
Man,
Fucking
talking about coming from behind, huh?
The 49ers beat the Seahawks 41-23. They have a rookie, Roy Harder, who was there's a name for this guy. It's not me. This isn't a joke. There's a name in the draft for if you are the last person drafted, you are called Mr. Irrelevant. Because the obviously philosophy is, well, this guy's not even going to make the team, more than likely. You know, it's 7 rounds or whatever in the NFL. You know, 7 times 30 is, or 32 is 210, 200. You know, 240, 50 guys have gotten chosen over you. The NFL's basically said, well, you're probably not good enough. Like, we all agree that you're not good enough to play in the NFL. You're probably good enough to play on a practice team because our defense has to tackle somebody. Like, our starting defense has to, you know, give somebody brain damage, and it can't be our own starting QB. So welcome to the team, Brock Purdy. Well, this little fucking kid has done nothing but win, and now he has won a playoff game.
Huh. You know who else was Mr. Irrelevant back in the day?
Oh.
Wow. Right here.
You.
Every time we used to play dodgeball back in grammar school, back at St. Hedwig's Grammar School, 8th grade, I was always the last guy to be picked.
Now, why was that? You're not a good thrower?
I guess I'm not a very good thrower or catcher, David.
I think you catch pretty well, Roy.
You know what? I have known Roy for 13 years at this point, and we've done now 2 shows together, and we continue to do so. I'm not sure I've ever seen Roy throw a ball. Could you, like, crumple up a piece of paper just so we could, like, see your form? Because I'm actually really curious. Could you, like, stand up and be a pitcher? I mean, maybe just take the headphones off. I'll call it. I really just want to see. Yeah, just pretend like you're a pitcher. Actually, do 2 throws. A pitcher and then like you're a quarterback. First one is a pitcher. All right, let's see. As a pitcher, this isn't good. All right, throw. And now throw it as a QB. Oh, yeah.
Oh, now
And
throw
now
it as
can
a
you-
QB, Roy.
Now can you throw the paper again as a quarterback?
Oh, as a quarterback.
Were you? Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so first things first. What's with the bow and arrow technique? Are you throwing a ball or are you shooting a bow and arrow? Because you put your hands together and then your one hand. Yeah. You've got some. Actually, speaking of Hogan, that's the fucking classic Hulk Hogan pose. The one hand.
Roy is a real American.
American. Holy shit, Roy. All right, Hogan. Listen, it's not as embarrassing as I was hoping. I was expecting one of those where you like basically you put your hand on your shoulder and you just like push. And
No.
I've seen plenty of people throw a ball. We had this kid in fucking Little League. The kid's name was Y.A. MacArthur. And I shit you not. The Y.A. stood for Young Arthur.
Come on.
The fucking kid's name was Young Arthur MacArthur. I shit you not. I've had this in my life a few times. I was a busboy with a Ukrainian guy, and his name was Vitus Makaitis. And I'll never forget that either. That feels like some sort of disease you would catch if you like took a shit in the Port Authority and you sat in one of their stalls. You might get a case of Vitus Makaitis.
I thought Vitus Makaitis is what cost Magic Johnson his career.
But young Arthur MacArthur couldn't throw for shit. And one time, young Arthur MacArthur cost us three goddamn runs because he couldn't throw a fucking ball from right field. Bases loaded. We were up 7-5. There was a single, and it was like a scene out of Bad News Bears, and not at the end where they're kicking ass and taking names. At the beginning of the movie where they suck dick. And this fucking young Arthur MacArthur, he couldn't throw the ball into the fucking infield. He just kept picking up the ball, and he would put it basically on his shoulder and try to shot put it, and the ball would go like 6 inches and fall to the ground. And he kept repeating this moronic process over and over again. We're like, YA, pick up the ball and throw it.
Maybe he didn't have a dad to teach him.
No, he had some sort of bookworm mom who like owned a bookshop in town.
Well,
and only like in like read like, fucking Chaucer and shit.
Yeah, and apparently he's running SiriusXM now. He's a CEO, right? Hey, you know what else?
He's a highly successful program director that's making 35 times more money than I am, even though I'm a million times more talented, like every SiriusXM fucking PD.
When I used to play basketball in 8th grade, when you had to go up to the free throw line, there was a foul and you had to take a free throw shot.
Yeah.
Well, everyone used to laugh at me because I would take the free throw and put it between my legs and pull one of these shots because I could never quite,
Ollie. That's Ollie from Hoosiers did that, and they mocked him too. Did you ever see Hoosiers with Gene Hackman?
I may have. I don't remember it though.
Well, and then poor little Ollie dribbled off his foot. I was crying and jumping around this hospital room.
The thing about that movie is the movie's supposed to take place in the 50s. And Ollie goes up to the free throw line and does what they call the granny style underhanded free throw that what you did. And even in the 50s, they were making fun of him for shooting old fashioned. So like in 1955, that was considered to be dorky. And here's Roy Harder fucking shooting granny style fucking. I will say this, Rick Barry is one of the greatest free throw shooters of all time, played in the 60s and 70s for the Warriors, and he actually did granny style.
Mantra 161 just said that in the chat. He just said
Rick Barry. Who said that?
Mantra 161.
Give Mantra 161 50 points right now.
50 points. Wow.
50 right now. Right now. Robert, right now.
Ding, ding, ding.
I was type 5-0 to him.
Oh.
50 PTS.
Truth be told, my coach was the one who told me to do it because he saw right away that I had a problem
Yeah, well, because you're a spaz.
Yeah, but I can sure play that guitar, baby.
No, but listen, you're a hell of a musician, brother. That's weird. You said play guitar over play the piano.
Well, I think I'm a much better guitar player than a pianist any day of the week.
No way. No way. I think you're a great guitarist, but as a keyboardist?
Well, here's the thing. I was trained on keyboard, but when I approach a guitar, I never took a single lesson. So when I play the guitar, I play it with pure musical instinct and passion. That to me is much more valuable than all the years of lessons I had and training.
I can't imagine this. This is shocking to me. I've told people that I called up the widow of Billy Preston and said, fuck you. Roy Harder's 50 times better on the keyboards than your late husband. And I went around everyone and did that to everybody. Stevie Wonder and all these people. I said, fuck all of you people. There's only one keyboardist on the planet Earth. His name is Roy Harder. I'm actually surprised to hear you say that guitar is your better instrument.
Well, I think that's what I think. But all the other musicians I play with would probably not agree with me. They would probably agree with me, David.
Well, Roy, you're actually onto something. That's what B.B. King said made him so great, because he built his guitar from his mom's broom. He took
Lucille.
the wire. Yeah, he built.
And he named his guitar. And you know why? Because he fucked it.
Yeah. But
He would fuck his guitar.
That broom guitar wasn't named Lucille yet. That was Sally.
Right. He fucked her, too.
She gave him a clap.
Oh, and by the way, the other football game was Bengals. They beat the Ravens on an insane 98-yard fumble recovery. The game was tied 17-17, and the Ravens' backup QB Huntley tries to go over the top. Only
24.
problem, Huntley was fucking 2 yards away from the goal line. So if you go over the top from that distance, some fucking big, huge 300-pounder slaps the ball away. The other guy picked it up and ran the distance. That was the game. Bengals 24, Ravens 17, an insane play to end it.
You know who would have done that? Trace McSorley, who would have been their backup had they not cut him and actually put in some very solid minutes for the Cardinals.
Well, where Trace McSorley? Why are you so high on Trace McSorley? Who's he?
Just a Penn State quarterback.
Okay, there it is. There it is. The fucking Nittany Lions. I can never get the goddamn Nittany Lions out of my head.
Okay,
know what I can't get out of my head? Know what I can't get out of my head, Nittany Lion? Jerry Sandusky.
A lot of good linebackers.
A lot of good linebackers is your comment.
Just saying.
After Jerry Sandusky. They took down the Joe Paterno statue, right?
They did, yeah. I was
and where did they move it to?
Nobody is supposed to know. But there's actually
nobody's supposed to know. What the fuck is that all about?
Basically, they moved it in the middle of the night and didn't tell anybody what they were doing with it. They didn't destroy it, and they moved it to. There's a Letterman house for all the players where they go back to. They moved it in there, just basically that way people wouldn't still go and protest.
I get it.
Can I give you a non-Penn State fact, Dave? In the real Hoosiers game, did you know Jimmy held the ball for 9 minutes at one point?
That's crazy. No shot clock, I guess. Huh?
No shot clock, but they were playing that other team that was so fast that he just held the ball like this for 9 minutes.
Thank God someone in basketball finally had the idea of a shot clock, because they did that chintzy shit all the time. The four corners bullshit, where you put four offensive players on each corner of the half court and just toss the ball around. And it was just such bullshit. So thank God the shot clock has been invented.
And that school had been in the state championship the year prior. They weren't this small school who had never done it before.
I did not know that.
They were a powerhouse.
That pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because if they were in the year before, then why didn't he Gene Hackman? The fucking thing was that the team was shit, and they just got this amazing coach, but the reason why he was not coaching in college anymore was because he slapped some kid around, so he goes back to high school.
Because those kids can't snitch.
Goddamn liars. All right, listen.
There was a year in between, so my grammar may have screwed up. So they were in the finals, then they sucked.
That's fun. Nevertheless. Thursday is FezCon. I need a ride.
What's the dress code? What's the dress code to this FezCon thing? Is it a black tie?
No. What the fuck? What? It's
I thought it was some sort of gala.
Well, you know what? Now that I say that, I guess maybe that's not an inappropriate question. Now you've got me doubting myself. I wasn't planning on wearing a tie. You know what I had? Robert, you're going to like this, but I'm not sure if I want to wear it because I feel like I'd be a dork, but I'm going to wear it. I'm going to go stretch. Guys, stretch for me.
Roy, I just checked the email. It's actually a full tuxedo you're supposed to wear.
That's not stretching. Oh, stretch.
I'm stretching. We're stretching, buddy. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to look sharp.
put them both on. That's what I'm gonna do for you. A little wardrobe change. You guys are gonna love this. Rob, you're gonna love this shit.
Put them both on. What are you going to put 2 suits on?
No, I got a shirt and a coat. Hold on. All right, ready?
Yeah, let's see this new look, David.
Look at this look. I just feel like I'm in such good shape, and if there are ladies there, I want to impress them. So I don't feel like these. Watch this. Look at this coat. Hold on, Robert.
Holy shit! You should.
Hold on, Robert. You haven't seen the best part. It says XM on it, Roy, but it's the old school. Okay. It's a black coat for the audio for the podcast only people. It's a black coat with a little right by the crest, the old school red XM symbol. As I turn around, look at the back.
Oh my God, that says Ron and Fez. Holy shit. Is that autograph?
Vintage font. Don't even try to fuck it. Look at the vintage font. See, Ron and Fez font is very, very specific. You got to track it down just like Star Wars font. This is the vintage Ron and Fez font on the back of my black coat in red lettering in vintage Ron and Fez font. Look at that.
Yeah, that looks like Helvetica.
That's incredible, Dave.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Our fucking fashion show hasn't ended. You two fucking jerks.
I'm still impressed that it still fits you, buddy.
No, so, okay, I'm going to show you why this coat is weird. So, now, watch this, Robert. Ready? You're going to love this.
Oh, yeah.
As I take this off, look at this shirt.
Holy shit.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Vintage bowling shirt. Virus on one patch on the breast. Dave on the other. Little XM on the back. Nothing on the back of it. But here's the crazy thing about these clothes. This shirt, I mean, obviously I was fatter back then, but this shirt is massive on me. It's just too big. See, look. Does that look good to you guys at all?
You could definitely stand to use a tailor to tuck it in a bit.
That's the thing. It's turning. I fucking lift weights every day. I don't want to fucking go to this thing looking like dumpy, baggy fuckface boy. You see, so I have a, it's like and by the way, this coat, now I'm actually kind of happy, but Don Wicklund gave this coat instead of money to us as a Christmas bonus. I couldn't believe it. It was like Christmas Vacation when Chevy Chase gets the fucking monthly roll, the monthly subscription to the Jelly of the Month Club.
That's right. Yeah.
And he's like trying to put in a swimming pool. I'm like, well, thanks. Wait, this is a Christmas bonus? Oh, yeah. What do we get? $1,000? $2,000? No, you're getting a coat. Now, look at how weird this. I don't know what size they thought I was because the shirt is monstrous. But look how small the coat is. It comes up to my belly button.
Now, obviously, we're looking at two different eras with the fonts and the XM coloring and everything, right, Dave?
No, I mean it's. I got both of these things roughly around the same time for like a 2 or 3 year period. Rather than give us proper Christmas bonuses, they just gave us clothing. I guess they thought we were like, orphans.
You could probably make up that bonus now, but sell that on eBay for like $1,500.
I probably could.
No, I don't think you'd get anything for that shirt. I think you should just probably give that shirt to a friend or something. I don't think you get much online.
Let me ask. Robert is angling for the clothing, Roy. Well, let me ask you. This is an important question. Should I wear this stuff to the FezCon? Because I feel like it doesn't fit me properly, but it is great stuff to wear.
Why don't you take it to a tailor and take it in a couple inches?
I'm not taking it to a tailor. Come on.
Oh, cost you $25, something like that. It's a simple job for a tailor. Either that, or what you do, David, in the back of the the shirt, you take a safety pin and you pin it in. You take it in. No one's going to see the back of it, and then you get a nice form fitted to your svelte stomach there, and then you wear the jacket over the safety clip. No one's going to know it'll look like you got a tailor.
I'm going to think about that, but I don't know.
I
don't think I'm going to wear this clothing.
Jonesy and
I
I
might wear the jacket. I might wear the jacket.
Jonesy and I had the same idea in the chat, Dave. What if you put a hoodie under the shirt? Like a tighter fitting hoodie, then you could kind of leave the shirt open. They could still see you're yoked, but you're doing your tribute.
That's not a bad idea. Or a T-shirt, even.
Yeah, something.
Or like a long sleeve T-shirt.
Yeah, that would be the style. Like the longer. That would almost look like an early 2000s look.
Yeah, you look fat
the
again.
long
You'll
white
make
sleeves.
I'm going to look fat in any of this clothing, and I don't want to.
Dave, what was your
have to think
inspiration?
about it.
I did it all for the nookie.
I'm going to think about it. Well, let's do a couple of clips of Fez and myself. Why not? Just for fun.
Yeah,
to get us
absolutely.
excited for FezCon. That this will be a big deal. How about Makes Me Fez live at the Big Ass Bash? Because it was a crazy time where the Midnight Rider was trying to take my job. And I've been accused of being the Midnight Rider, but we've never been spotted in the same place at the same time. I keep telling people this many, many times. Does my voice sound like the Midnight Riders? No. I don't have a Southern accent. I don't talk about canyons. I don't talk about mountaintops. Okay. So at this wrestling event, it was Eastside Dave and tag team partner versus the Midnight Rider and his tag team partner. But we had different little sketches or different things happened in between the match, set up the match. And one of the great things that happened was Fez came out and did a live rendition of Makes Me Fez, and it brought down the house. I remember this night. This is, I don't know, 16 years ago, maybe. But I'll tell you, Jesus Christ, the time flies. But I will say this.
2007, it says.
2007, so 16 years ago, because I think it was like February or March. The incredible thing is we packed the place. This place was sold out. I don't know how many people there, 1,000, 1,200. This was definitely one of the highlights. Fez just fucking crushed it. Let's do this, huh? Let's do it. Makes Me Fez.
To be so damn adorable. Hell no, man. It makes you mad. Does it make you gay to deliver love around back? Does it make you gay to get your ears pierced? Does it make you gay to be singing slow years? It makes me mad to drive the fellas crazy. It makes me mad to take the U.S. Navy. It makes me mad when the boys come near me. It makes me mad when people want to grab me. It makes you mad. It makes me mad. It makes you mad. It makes me mad. It makes you mad. It makes me mad. It makes you mad. Hey man, like what Ron said, it makes me mad.
That was fantastic. Oh my God, Jinx, that was fantastic. Jesus Christ, that crowd was lit.
Yeah, that was
That's
great,
the
man.
fucking, that's how you do shows, my friend. Radio shows, live events. Get it going. What's up, Robert?
Very rarely in radio is there a real payoff to a long-standing running thing, and the fact that it culminated in a sold-out event like that truly is why I think it's the best.
It was a great match too, great
best
wrestling match.
thing
But
in radio, best bit ever done in radio.
yeah, it is. It's the greatest thing of all time. I know, and yet, you know. Here's what I see. I just saw someone right online. Eastside Dave is the greatest radio personality of all time. I saw that. You agree with that, Robert?
Yeah. Do you want my whole list of reasons?
No, I mean that surprises me because when I was at the videos, I was looking and I a whole bunch of comments and I'm like, shit. I mean, actually, these were the videos for Pitsy. Because Anthony Pizzatola was going to do the show tonight. And like I said, we have a lot of great clips with the Pitsy Fez era of Ron and Fez. And when he's on the show, either next Monday or the Monday after that, we'll play those. But I was interested. And then I started to think about it and I go, you know what? There could be a little bit there.
Contrarian in the chat says you're the greatest, least recognized radio broadcaster of all time.
That's what it is. That's usually what it is. I'm usually in all honesty, the fucking guy who is now screaming all over ESPN, Pat McAfee. Come on,
yeah.
Robert. You know that guy's an O&A fan. Pat McAfee is doing Eastside Dave. You know, it's not the other way around. 100%. It's like Pat McAfee is Eastside Dave Part 2. Come on.
I was just trying to think. I can't think of anyone other than potentially Sam who did every aspect of radio.
But Sam didn't even. See, the problem
but he didn't do the stunts. That's where he lacked. You were Mr. I'll do whatever it takes to get the bit done. That's what I think is so impressive. The problem
with a lot of the Opie and Anthony producers is that they all thought they were cool as shit, and they all thought they were rock stars, and they all thought they were even, as famous or more important than the Patrice O'Neills and the Bill Burrs and Anthony Cumia himself or Jim Norton or people like that. All of the producers got these fucking egos as if they thought they were the stars, and so they never wanted to do shit. And so constantly, even though I wrote and did characters and am a performer and fucking know how to do, because there were such pussies, such lackadaisical, boring pussies that are always worried about their reputations, which mean jack and shit because none of them are even in the business anymore. Those fucking guys would never do anything, so I would have to do fucking stunts on their show. I want to point that out. That when you are looking at the Dave Man, you're looking at someone pure heart, no ego, no vanity, no bullshit. I get the job done. You want to write a funny bit? I'll write a funny bit. You want a character? I'll write you a character. You want a game show? I'll write you a game show. You want a fucking crazy moment or a special episode? I'll write you all of those and I'll perform it all. It's the exact same. And by the way, and maybe I had a sip when I was changing. I had a few sips of my IPA, and maybe it's kicking in a little bit. But I hope Steve Blatter and Rob Cross are at FezCon.
Oh, me too.
Oh, that'll be great, David.
This ain't a threat.
No,
I don't want some fucking nerd diming me out. But at SiriusXM, you'd get a guy like Steve Blatter, who when Sirius and XM merged, we constantly had to have meetings with Sirius people. We were the XM side, and they bought us, even though XM had more subscribers. The fucking morons sold out, pussied out, and let Sirius buy them up. Anyway, at that moment, Sirius then would round us up and have many interviews of, well, what do you do here? And what do you do? So Steve Blatter would pull me aside, and he'd say, well, what do you do? I go, oh, I'm a producer for the Ron and Fez show. And he's like, well, what do you produce? I go, okay, well, have you heard this sketch, Board Gossip or Guy Garrison? These are comedy sketches that I write and perform. Yeah, that's like you being on the radio. What do you produce? And I would be like, that's what I produce. That's what a producer does. The problem is at SiriusXM, you have you have way too many PDs and they're all music programmers. So when a Steve Blatter, who's used to programming boring rock radio in Arizona, tries to do a talk show channel, he has no idea what the fuck it is he's talking about. I think he got the terms produce and production confused, because I think he thought like, you're not a producer unless you're sitting down in front of a computer. I'd be like, ever hear of like the world's fastest wedding on Ron Fez show? That was my idea.
That's a great idea.
And he was like, yeah, but that was an on-air thing. I go, that's what I produce. Shit that goes on the air. Moron. That's what a producer does. You don't produce shit unless it's on the air. And the problem with a lot of Opie and Anthony people would be they'd hide in a hole and be on the computer for 8 hours. And after 8 hours of that, they'd come up with a 30-second, fucking soundbite. And that would be their whole day. That ain't producing. Producing is fucking someone who can produce fucking shitloads of content for the air, for the show. I'm the greatest producer of all time. That I will say. Unequivocally, without a doubt. Sketches, bits, games, episodes, and yes, I did stunts for he just sticks stuff in his ass. Yep. You know why I did that? Because Opie asked me. Because he had 38 producers who were boring as fuck, and his show at the time sucked dick. And Ron and Fez was better and always will be. And because Opie's like, will you do our show and do this stunt I came up with? Yeah, I'll help you out. You own the channel, you fucking blonde pussy. I'll help you out. I know what you're doing. You're trying to make me look like less because our show is kicking ass. Don't even get me started. When I have a few beers on Thursday, FezCon just might get a little bit wild, baby.
You know what, Dave? Maybe I will be able to give you a ride so we can have a few road sodas on the way up. Dave, you did way more than put stuff in your ass. When we were talking about your willingness to do everything, Jonesy in the chat said, you want to put hot sauce on my junk? Go right ahead. Like that
wasn't even voluntary. A fucking producer today. No, but let me just say that a producer today, these days, they'd sue. Jay Moore, the comedian, poured hot sauce in my anus and dick hole. I didn't want to do it. It got poured. But I didn't fucking pussy out. I went to the hospital, which I had to. And then I had to sit in a milk bath for 6 hours. I had second-degree burns on my anus and dick hole. But did I pussy out? No. Did I fucking complain? No. Maybe it's maybe with all of these years, people are saying, who's one fucking person who brings the fire every fucking day in multiple capacities? Davey Mac.
Dave delivers. That's the difference, says Jonesy.
I hope Steve Blatter is at FezCon, and I hope that his little fucking blind sidekick, Rob Cross. Roy, this guy has the smallest amount of vision for a non-blind person. He literally does this thing. He does the Stevie Wonder. His head moves around, and he has a phone. The numbers are this big. Like he has a phone where the numbers are as big as like a remote control for your TV. Each number, his phone takes up his whole entire desk. The guy's so blind. I hope those two fucking screwheads are there. And don't worry, this ain't a threat, SiriusXM. Don't be bitches. This is just hey, motherfuckers. How are you? Do you now see what I do? Yeah, that's it. Fucking do.
Yeah, you're extending the olive branch, David, right?
That's right, I'm doing. I'm going to extend the olive branch to Steve Blatter and Rob Cross, and then I'm going to fucking hit him in the face with it.
Smear the olive oil.
So would you say you're the Michael Jordan of producing then?
As far as producers go, there's never been a better producer in the history of radio.
Good. So you hear that, everybody? When I'm not ripping off Dave. I'm just being Kobe. I'm imitating. It's flattery, okay? It's not ripping off doing the same bits. It's Rob being Kobe.
Don't worry. There's a lot of people ripping me off. McAfee, Bill Simmons, all these fucks.
Well, don't worry, Dave. You won't have to worry about me for long. I just started taking helicopter lessons.
All right. That's such a bad idea. Such a bad idea with your THC consumption. to be taking helicopter lessons? Flying? You're thinking of flying a helicopter?
No. I just get stoned and think about flying a helicopter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a little too much weed for me.
Good. All right. Do we have another? Why don't we go out with the beard porn? Yes. Rob?
I just wanted to say in the chat we may have a little bit of an issue. Andrew Gold, Big A, said Mr. Champion is the best broadcaster.
I
But
probably am the best broadcaster because I feel like I can do sports on a level that a lot of like improv comedy people just simply can't. If you're like into comedy and improv the way, I was actually trained in, you know nothing about sports. You're some fucking asshole. Well, I know everything about sports. I am as good of a sportscaster as anybody you'll see on television.
And better. And here's the proof. You do a sportscast show with me. That's all you have to tell people. That says everything right there, David.
That's a good point.
I'm just a little concerned because Big A capitalized the B in broadcaster.
No, he's good. He loves
So
to
I didn't know if he
capitalize
was calling you like a broadcaster.
No, don't forget, Big A writes every email like he's sending you a ransom letter.
Oh, it's just a force of habit. I got you. He does it a lot.
Everything is very scary. I got something, and I'm not going down this rabbit hole, but I got an email in all caps lock from Big A. Apparently, Bobo was on the Chip Chipperson show, and he didn't plug the Davey Mac Sports Program. And Big A's furious about that and sent me one of those ransom letters. I'm diming Bobo out. I just don't have time for the controversy tonight. I got the FezCon. I got the Giants.
Those two are the perfect example of why you're the best broadcaster, Dave. All
right, let's go out with the beard porn. This was when me and Fez. Oh no, you know what happened? This is true. Chris Pepper Stanley made a bet with Fez, and the result was going to be it was a football game, I believe, or whatever. And if Pepper's team lost, they were going to do beard porn, which is they're just going to rub each other's beards on one another uncomfortably for about a minute. Pepper backed out. You heard that. Once again. So then people are always, oh, he does that. No one else would do anything. I had to. So Chris Pepper Stanley, this is true. He backed out. I remember thinking him say something to the effect of, come on, man, I want to, I got a cool thing going on here. I got a cool factor. I got a cool vibe. Everyone puts their coolness ahead of the audience. Not Davey Mac. People are starting to recognize that now. I ain't no fucking phony. I'm not worried about shit. Ego, reputation. I'll fucking put this bottle in my ass right now on this show.
Should I? No, we're on YouTube. It'll give you a strike. I'm sorry, Dave. As much as I love a good bit.
Anyway, here's the beard porn. And then we got to get out of here.
On Bennington Production.
Oh, my God. That's me, Roy. Oh, no. Is that me or Fez? That's me.
Oh, that's you. Jesus
that's me, Christ. All right. Tidy Whiteys. I'll do a little commentary since it's
East Side Dave McDonald. Fez Whatley. Beard burning.
Look at that, Fez. Roy. Fez is putting his beard all over my head. He is only in underwear. I'm only in underwear. I'm laying on my back on the couch. He's laying on his stomach. The insane thing is, folks, I shit you not. Yeah. Where this is at Sirius is exactly 2 studios from the Catholic channel where there was a priest.
Yeah, the music is probably going to get this video flagged. It's not so much the beard porn.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We talked the whole time, so we should be okay.
All right. Just mute the music. We don't need GNR. Show it again. Show it again, Robert.
Why, are you jerking off, David?
Volume music. I think it's kind of sexy. I mean, look at that underwear. At least it's clean.
Yeah, it's clean, but it looks like a diaper.
No, I just pulled it up above my belly button for comedic purposes. It's underwear.
Okay. It's
okay. But dude, we're actually in underwear, shirtless. Okay, nothing but underwear, rubbing beards on each other. We are a fucking foot, like 10 feet from the priest on the Catholic channel at Sirius. We're also, we're literally next door to Martha Stewart's channel.
How did you do this with a straight face, David?
My point is, I mean, can you imagine that, all this shit's going on and like there's like some guy like talking about God like 2 channels away? That always cracked me up about both Sirius and XM. All right, that's it. That's beard porn.
Did you get any movement down there, David? Seems awfully erotic.
I'm not going to say no. I just don't recall. But I think there's possibility of a little bit of movement because I remember Fez being quite warm. He's legitimately the only man who is, I guess he would say, laid on top of me. I've never had that experience before.
Actually, David,
there was a man just laying on me like that.
I laid on top of you at the end of one of our videos.
Right. Don Twiddles, you laid on top of me.
Yes.
But at least you had clothing on.
Yes, and you also tickled my dick at the last second.
I did, and that was a real crotch grab. A crotch pinch. I did a little crotch pinch on Roy Harder at the end of Don Twiddles. All right, we got to wrap it up. We actually went long tonight. Fucking Pitsy bails, and we go fucking hour and a half.
Who needs guests, right, David?
No, I actually say we don't need guests. I just like to have them. I like talking to people.
Of course.
But that'll do it. So FezCon, this Thursday the 19th. I'm so excited for it. Hope to see all of you there. And if you're coming from the New Jersey, specifically the Jersey Shore, your Belmar, Asbury Park area, let me know. I'll tell you what I can do. I do have a Ron and Fez t-shirt, Robert. I could maybe part with that.
Okay, what size is that shirt?
It's another gigantic fucking size that doesn't fit me. It makes me look like a fat meatball, which I'm not.
Oh, boy. Well, let's talk in the Zoom after this.
Yeah,
so
this
we might
is
be able to work out
the official XM-produced Ron and Fez shirts. I have exactly one left to my name.
Ooh. All right. Yeah, we'll definitely talk.
But, you're going to be giving me a ride up and back. Maybe I'll make it worth your while.
All right. Yeah, we'll make it work.
All right, listen, that'll do it. Roy Harder, I'll be seeing you there.
I'll be there, David.
Sean O'Barry of the Davey Mac Sports Program is going to be there. The old producer engineer. The new producer engineer, Robert Tamburo, will be there. I'm going to be there. Jedi Jared from Yaddle Chattel will be there. Bronx Johnny texted me a few times to get him into the show. I go, don't you fucking do a goddamn fucking show with Pepper, for Christ's sakes?
He knows who has the connections around that crew.
I don't know what the hell's going on in high society, but he was asking me to get him in rather than Chris Pepper Stanley, which was bizarre. But anyway.
I can picture Pepper say, dude, I don't know. I can't do it, man. I can't get you on the list. It's a clue.
That was actually a pretty good Pepper impression. That was not bad. All right, look. We're going to all go there. We're going to have a great time this Thursday. I can't wait to go. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Big A will be there. No cap.
Big A, Andrew Gold's going to be there. We're going to represent heavily. The Ron and Fez era will be representing heavily, especially the 2000 to 2010 crowd, the 2000 aughts crowd. We are going to be there in abundance. We're going to be bringing the noise and the pain. So mind your P's and Q's. Let's have a lot of fun, though.
It's going to be a blast.
And again, if Steve Blatter and Rob Cross are there, let's talk in a friendly way about how wrong and stupid you two fucking morons were for so many years. Let's just talk and see if you've changed and evolved at all, or if you're still as vapid and clueless as you were 10 years ago. It'd be an interesting experiment on my behalf. I know I've changed. We'll see. Anyway, that'll do it. Roy Harder, thank you. I'll see you on Thursday. Robert, thank you. I'll see you on Thursday. All of the Davey Mac Sports Program folks who are going to FezCon on Thursday, I'll see you on Thursday. And that'll do it. I bid you all a farewell. We will be back here next week. We're going to have lots of fun. and it's going to be a great time. As for me, go Giants, baby! See ya! Good night, everybody!